everybody. Welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. You know the show. Two of us just talk about one actor and we pick our three roles, our favorites from that person. I'm Peter.
And I'm Frank. Hi.
And today's...
This time. Full disclosure, folks, you kind of forgot that part before.
I forgot that was Frank.
This is literally the 14th time that we've...
I've forgotten that he's Frank.
Yeah, so let's... God, it's a good thing we're underemployed. Anyway, all right, we have so much time to kill. It's the pandemic.
Now, even though Frank is not our featured presentation this week, no, our featured actor on today's episode is going to be John Cusack.
One of my favorites.
Yeah,
one of my favorites. Yeah,
cool. He's a steady, consistent presence, I think.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
all right,
good.
Cool. All right. What?
Before we get into John Cusack, for a split second, I'm thinking you better come up with something fast before Frank beats you to a question.
No, go ahead.
All righty.
Yeah, no, you beat me because I had a question for you, but I always do that to you. So
yeah, okay, hang on.
That's good. Okay. Go ahead. What do you got?
I think sometimes when we're fans of, when we're cinephiles, when you know you just have a movie-going public out there, and we're definitely part of that.
You did say cinephile.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I think there is this whole. Sometimes it's a Hollywood thing, but the movie thing definitely is. There is this idea of a movie star.
Okay.
And then there's an actor.
Okay.
So I'm just going to come up with a person, and I'm going to have you at the end of our show, and we'll kind of go back and forth whether you think this one person is a movie star or if they're an actor.
Okay. All right. Who's the person?
I'm going to go with Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
But we'll save Meryl to the end.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll save Meryl to the end. All right. That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll
that's
go
an
with
interesting. It's an interesting take.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, John Cusack.
John Cusack.
What do you got
first?
No, you got it.
Okay. John Cusack.
You're the one who pulled it out.
I was the one who pulled it out last time.
Yeah.
Okay. John Cusack. And I don't know why I feel like I always need to reiterate this, but this is in no particular order.
This is just how
as in my head here.
Fancified,
you got it,
as it were.
I'm gonna say my three picks would be starting off with Bullets Over Broadway.
Okay. Really? He's in that? I guess he is in there.
He's in it.
Yeah, no, yeah, he is. That's Chaz Palminteri for me.
Yeah.
And in my head, he's the only one that's in it. Him and Diane Wiest. So.
Diane Wiest. But, he's, if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it in a little bit, you should go see it.
It's so funny.
Bullets Over Broadway.
That's sort of a general thing. If we mention something you haven't seen, go see it.
Yeah, but it somehow makes us feel so self-important, doesn't it? When we go, you should go see it.
I keep forgetting my pipe. Yes, indeed. If you've not seen it, we highly recommend it. If you have the means, I strongly suggest you pick one up.
I wish I had my sweater wrapped around my shoulders and kind of tied around.
We'll do that when we do 80s college. 80s college villains.
Okay.
We have to dress up. That'll be Ted McGinley week.
Good old Ted McGinley.
Yeah, seriously. Although he did redeem himself slightly when he was on Happy Days, but he ended up killing Happy Days.
Yes,
so.
He's killed a few of them.
Yeah.
He killed Love Boat too.
I think Lauren Chu's little drug problem killed a Love Boat.
That's not what Isaac the bartender told me.
Cocaine? Okay.
How did we get off on this?
Quite far afield.
That's
John
right.
Cusack.
John Cusack.
Bullets Over
Broadway.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, it's a Woody Allen movie, and it's behind the scenes of a play, and it's it's a wonderful performance by John Cusack, because in the movie, Woody Allen is not in front of the camera at all in this movie. So John Cusack plays the Woody Allen character in the movie. And as you said before, Diane Wiest, I'm pretty sure she picked up an Academy Award supporting for this movie, but Chaz Palminteri he's definitely got a great meaty character.
Yeah.
But the John Cusack really pulls it off well. He's like the torn working class, writer.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to make changes, and he doesn't want to sell out. And here he is begging for money in the wrong places, and he's getting support and financial backing from the wrong people.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have a way of getting out of that. So
hilarity ensues.
You said it. But it's got a great supporting cast, not even just the Diane Wiest, Chaz Palminteri, but I want to say Tracy Ullman is in it. James Broadbent, who's an Academy Award-winning actor, he's in there. There's a lot of and then what's her name? Tilly there, Meg Tilly, or is it Jennifer Tilly? Now which sister is in it now? I should have looked that one up.
I cannot remember. So what I'm going to do in post is I'm going to put it right up there.
Yeah, somewhere like over here to make it seem like we're not as dumb as we
really
really
but
are.
This will definitely point out how dumb we are.
Yeah.
So we'll have the sisters Tilly.
Yes,
up
whichever
there.
one we're thinking or not thinking of. That's terrible.
I want to.
Yes.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna say Jennifer.
I'm gonna say Jennifer too. No, I think it's Jennifer.
I think it is Jennifer as well.
I think so too. So anyway, but she's got that great bubble-headed roll, high pitched, piercing voice.
I love that voice.
Oh, so do I. But it's just you have to take it in little bits.
Yeah.
At a time. Anyway, so John Cusack's now, and he's kind of like the tortured artist soul, and that sort of thing. But he pulls it off very well. And so I love him in Bullets Over Broadway. And I'm gonna say another one of my favorite John Cusack role. And you know something, when you think about it, he's got a lot to pick from.
Oh, yeah.
He really has a lot of movies.
Preparing for this was quite a challenge.
Yeah. No, I agree. The other one, or one of the other ones, is Being John Malkovich. Love him in that movie.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Actually, I really enjoy that movie a lot. That's way up on my list.
Great movie.
And it's just bizarrely, as it's the only way I think Charlie Kaufman can write, is just bizarre, but it all works. And then Spike Jonze is the director of that one. And the same thing, it's like in the wrong hands, that one may not have come out nearly the way it did, but that one's done really well, directed well. But the John Cusack character, if you haven't seen it, John Cusack's character he's a professional puppeteer. That's what he does.
Very elaborate.
And he's very elaborate, and he's
really
very
amazing.
good at it. So there's a certain pride in that. So when the whatever you want to call it, when the job market dries up for a puppeteer, he struggles a little bit because he doesn't really want to compromise. He doesn't want to have to take some other job.
Yeah,
he wants to be a puppeteer. Yeah. He's at the top of his game, at the top of the puppet game. Yeah. And so push comes to shove, times demand that, he needs a job, he needs income. So then he gets this job as like a file clerk or he works in an office, and because of his finger dexterity is such as a puppeteer that it works well with filing index cards or something. And this just opens up literally this whole other world to him and to us.
Well, he gets to be the ultimate puppeteer.
He does.
And
he finds there's this weird interdimensional portal, and let me tell you, I could tell you the plot and it would not ruin this movie, because it is so deep and convoluted and so many just wonderful things to think about. Philosophical, psychological, there's a lot of stuff going on. And so he's wonderful in this role. And just to make this a little shorter, which probably won't be, is he gets a business partner who he lets in on this secret that he's found this interdimensional portal. But the portal only goes to John Malkovich's head. And because of that, he rents out time with his new business partner, who is
Catherine
just
Keener.
Beautifully played by Catherine Keener. She's incredible in this movie. And it gets into personalities. John Cusack is married to about as uglified a version of Cameron Diaz as you could imagine.
Yeah, she's a mess.
And she's like a dog person. She rescues dogs. So their apartment and their home life is really weird stuff within the pet store.
She brings home like the sick pets from the pet store
and so
rehabilitate.
There's just so many levels, and then there's a lot of stuff. Sexual identity, because when different people go into John Malkovich's brain, they're looking at it through a different way. But because the John Cusack character is a puppeteer, he realizes he can control things a little differently. Yeah. And it's just tremendous. And that one's got some wonderful performance by a lot of people.
His frantic desperation, I think, is really fun to watch.
That's a great
bizarre situation. So good.
Yeah.
All right, that is a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. What else you got?
Now I'm thinking to myself, what is the other one I got? Because I was getting so much into this, because that whole thing with the being in somebody else's brain it's really, and their body, and
crazy
different people. And so they end up renting the time. 15 minutes, and then you get automatically you get shot out somewhere over the river in New Jersey or something.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's really good.
And
so what's
my third one of the John Cusack picks would be Grosse Pointe Blank, which is another. He's such a he's able to make every role he's in seem very deep, which I think is how John Cusack must really be in life. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of layers to him, I believe, anyway. And so I think he's able to kind of pick these good roles that are offered and then find so many things within each character. So Grosse Pointe Blank, just to kind of give this one a little recap, is that he's a professional hitman who he's not so much repelled by the idea of being a hitman. I think he realizes
he's starting to feel guilty about it.
Well, I think he's just getting tired of the same thing in and out every day. I don't think he has a problem with bringing bad guys to their sudden doom. But
he just wants to be
independent. He wants to be independent. He doesn't want to go, which then ties into another character in the movie. Dan Aykroyd is also a hitman, and they're well acquainted with each other. But Dan Aykroyd, for some reason, wants to unionize all the hitmen so they can get more money.
John Cusack is much more independent and just fiercely wants to remain on the outside of this sort of a unionized workforce. So there's a situation where he botches one assignment, but he has a chance of redeeming himself by hitting the same target, but a little later, like another weekend.
Yeah.
But the time and place coincides with his 10th high school reunion.
Yeah.
So
he goes back to his hometown. He begrudgingly agrees to it, and he goes back to his hometown, and he gets reacquainted with his old girlfriend, who is a Mini Driver, and he sees some friends and that sort of thing. And I don't want to, give anything else away on that one, but he's just great. He's he kind of has this quick way of thinking and speaking, but it also kind of has like a little clipped thing to his speech. His character is just like, well, it is just always like, yeah, and it's just a wonderful little movie, and it's even though it doesn't sound like it could be, it's a comedy.
Yeah,
and
I'd give it a dark comedy.
Yeah, it's
just,
dark, but
because of the killing,
that whole thing.
Yeah,
Gross Point Blank.
Gross Point Blank. That's one of mine.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it is. Okay. It is, because it's a fantastic one.
It is.
Before I get too much into it, folks, please like and subscribe. We'll just do that quick little reminder there.
It going
Again,
this way?
it goes from this.
I think it goes that way.
Yeah, it goes that way. So like and subscribe. So Gross Point Blank, fantastic movie, fantastic premise. He's a killer who has to go back to his hometown, and his high school reunion is going on there. How perfect! So, and it's just what's really fun about it is that he's trying to work through these feelings about being a hired killer.
Yeah,
and as he's going through them with his psychiatrist, who is terrified of him, and he doesn't want to be.
Right.
He's just like, look,
yes.
I can't be your psychiatrist anymore.
Martin, go to your reunion.
Martin, please don't kill me. Just don't kill anybody. Go to the reunion. It'll be good for you.
Is it a good idea? Yeah, it's a good idea. Just go.
Yeah, and he was like one of these high school wonderkins who just sort of disappeared. He could have gone to any college. He ended up going into the army.
CIA. We don't know what's happening.
And he ended up being killer. But now he doesn't want to do it anymore, and he's kind of having a tough time getting out. Yeah. And what's great about John Cusack, and it's he does a similar thing in Being John Malkovich, where things are sort of spinning out of control, and he's got that sort of like frantic kind of thing going on where he's got it's not silly so much as just like, oh, God damn it. Like, why are things not going the way they should be going? And things are just spinning out of control too much that he can't quite grasp them anymore. And he wants to reel things back in. It's just like, now there's this other hitman trying to kill me at my reunion. And I just, but there's this great moment where things sort of seem to come together for him when he's at the reunion and he's holding the baby of one of his classmates, and they just have the soundtrack to this movie, by the way, is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And they're just kind of like, he and the baby are just sort of staring at each other.
Yeah.
And it's just this great moment where everything just sort of like slows down for him, and he's just kind of okay. And he and Minnie Driver, they kind of reconnect, and it's a cute little thing where he just kind of turns into a 17-year-old kid again.
Yeah.
And then there's all like the hitman thing and the target that he's supposed to kill. There's a funny little thing going there. I don't want to spoil it because it is kind of fun if you've not seen it.
Yeah.
One of the other little gems in this movie is Joan Cusack plays his secretary, and
she's great at
she's
that movie.
Fantastic. This is one little thing where she at first seems kind of flighty and stuff, and she's talking to him on the phone about, well, why didn't you kill this guy yet? Blah, blah, blah. And she, and then she's on the phone with their ammo supplier, and she just turns dark and mean. She's just like, I want it now. And then another phone call comes in, and she's talking to her friend about a recipe. It's just like, no, you have to stir the, and it's a great performance of hers. She's great.
She has to run the office.
Yeah, she runs it
for this business, which isn't a normal business. So she has to be.
She's the go-through
a really
for his
hard,
killing business.
a really hard personality on that part of it.
She's great. She always, as we all know, she pops up in all of his movies. So, Grosse Point Blank is really great to see him sort of trying to keep things under control and figure himself out.
The thing, the one of the that one is the overlap one, or at least it is right now. The other thing that I liked about his performance is that it's definitely out there, and then it's also mentioned by other characters, just how bright his character is or was in school, and how whatever he does, he's pretty successful at whatever he decided that he wanted to apply himself. But the interesting thing is, no matter how intelligent he is, he still can't figure out why, because it was all of his choice. It was his decision. He stood up Minnie Driver at their prom years before, and he really doesn't have an answer.
Yeah.
Like she's devastated. 10 years later, she's still talking about it, and she's devastated, and he can't answer it because he doesn't know himself.
I think it's one of those things where he just sort of saw what life was supposed to be. He goes
track.
to prom, he goes to college, he gets a job, he gets a gold watch, and he dies. And he didn't want to do that. He wanted to sort of pave his own way.
But though he's still trying to figure out, well, why didn't I really do this?
Right.
When he sees the baby, especially,
And so, and then, Dan Aykroyd is just like, no, we're all going to unionize and work together. He's just like, no.
It's good for all of us.
Just kind of a independent guy, and that's just kind of what I want to do. And what's great is that whenever anybody's asking him what he does, he's just like, oh, I'm a professional killer. Oh, okay, you get dental with that? He's not, I think he understands the absurdity of it all and the fact that he can just say it, and people are either going to be like, oh, I don't buy that, and it's just like, oh, when he's talking to Minnie Driver's dad, what are you doing these days, Martin? He goes, professional killer. Oh, growth field there. He goes, yep, seems to be. And they just, one of the great things about that is they don't do this pretense where he needs to sort of, come up with some other, I'm
a matador.
Right?
I'm not a killer.
I sell widgets or something, where he does the thing that he doesn't want to do. And this is my smooth segue into my other John Cusack film, which is Say Anything.
Okay.
Where he's at a dinner table and people ask him, "What do you want to do? When you grow up?" He's at the dinner table of his girlfriend, who's totally out of his league, supposedly, because no one's really out of anybody's league. People are people, so don't be a jerk. And they're just like, well, Martin, actually,
no.
It's not. Martin's the other one.
Yeah.
So it's just like, well, what do you want to do when you're out of school? He goes, you know what? I don't know. I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to process anything. He goes through this whole great little speech. Yeah. I don't want to process anything that's sold or, sell anything that's processed or whatever. So he goes through this whole big thing, and then he's just like, I don't really know right now. I just want to hang out with your daughter, which is, he's just so unapologetic. He just is who he is. And that's what's great. Lloyd, that's Martin was stuck in my head. But Say Anything is just another one of those great John Cusack performances where he is just who he is. He's this kid who wants to do kickboxing, and he wants to hang out with the Ione Skye character. And that's all he wants to do, and he's just totally unapologetic for it. And John Cusack is so great at just being that guy. He's just that guy who's comfortable in his skin. He's just, who he is. And that's why, that 1408 movie, which I saw it, I was just like,
I haven't seen
I don't-
it in a
I don't
long
really-
time since it came out. But
I don't really buy him in that kind of role.
No,
it's
but
not a
I'm-
John Cusack.
no,
role
but
for
that's
me.
I think why it still sticks out in my head because it's not
Yeah,
a thing.
and I don't think it necessarily works for him.
Yeah.
But in Say Anything, like I said, he's just this. Yep, this is who I am. I'm gonna ask her out because no one would think that I would. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Why not? Worst you can do is say no, and I'm in no. Just let's hang out, and they have this fantastic little love affair, and it's a great little movie, and he's so, like I said, he's just so comfortable with himself. So, which brings me to my third John Cusack movie, which is High Fidelity.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so good. It's got great music. It's got a great supporting cast. It's got a great story. Anybody who's, lived to be into their 30s and beyond and has had a bunch of different relationships. Sometimes you want to go back and do that whole post-game thing and just sort of, he goes through and he talks about his different relationships over his life. And, this is another one of those movies that does this John Cusack thing where he has a scene where he's just in the rain. There's a lot of you notice that with a lot of John Cusack movies. Where
Yes. Oh yeah.
Either an epiphany or he's yelling up to a window at a woman.
Exactly.
And he's just stuck in the rain. It's just kind of funny. So, but yeah, High Fidelity, where he's just got this big breakup. And now he starts going back and talking about the top 10 breakups of his life. He and his workmates, he owns a record store. They're always talking about, top 10 songs to break up to, or top 10 songs when your girlfriend's dad dies. Jack Black is a great supporting player in this movie. And so he goes through all of his girlfriends from when he was young, right back down to like junior high, where he goes and he tries to get in contact with them, and it's everybody from like Lily Taylor to Catherine Zeta-Jones. It's just really great.
He gets around
to go through this, and you see like these are the girlfriends you have over your life, and along the way he just kind of like learns a little bit about himself and becomes a better person. But that's another character where he's just sort of, I don't want to say schlubby, but he's very he's like a comfortable sweater kind of guy, and I think that's probably one of the best ways to describe John Cusack. He's just like a comfortable suit, comfortable sweater, sweatshirt kind of guy, and he's a guy that like you would want to hang. Any one of his characters are people that I would kind of want to hang out with, because they're just that dude.
Yeah.
So
which could have been what maybe Bullets Over Broadway, or even when I mentioned that 1408, is because there's times where he's not comfortable in those movies, those roles. Those characters are not.
Well, what's
he's
tough
not
about
very comfortable in
either the social situation he's thrust into, or just in the other one is the.
But I think when someone in something like Bullets Over Broadway, with a Woody Allen movie, and we all know a Woody Allen movie when we see it. Excuse me. But a Woody Allen movie where Woody Allen is not the Woody Allen character.
Yeah.
You end up watching that actor, and whether it's, whatever Wilson boy that is, I believe is it Owen?
That's Owen.
It's Owen.
That's Owen.
All right. Which Tilly girl? So it's or in Bullets Over Broadway, John Cusack, you're watching that, like, that's the Woody Allen character.
Oh yeah.
And you're watching it as the Woody Allen character.
Yeah.
And it sort of takes you.
It's funny.
It takes you out of it a little bit.
A little bit. It's funny because you can see. Cafe Society. Jesse Eisenberg is Woody Allen. Will Ferrell is Woody Allen in Melinda and Melinda. Jason Biggs is Woody Allen in Say Anything. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything.
The only one that I think comes close, without being distracting in that sort of
Well, that's
Woody
the
Allen
thing.
movie.
Is it distracting? or not?
Exactly. I would say Jesse Eisenberg, only because of I think body language and
Yeah.
maybe age.
Yeah,
So,
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'll say about other people playing the Woody Allen part.
Yeah.
It's too bad because I like the earlier Woody Allen stuff when Woody Allen's in stuff because he's
When he's his
yeah
own.
because
yeah.
when he's writing
He
and
writes for
directing
himself.
yeah exactly
Yeah.
So and I'm sure that he's just like you're the Woody Allen character.
You just do what I would
Just
do.
do what I would do. Yeah. So I
say
wonder,
what I would say
would
and say it
wonder-
like I would say it.
Yeah, I would love to know what the direction is because when
Yeah.
he's in a movie, you know the direction is okay. It's a broad outline. Here's a few of the things
That's
you
right.
need to hit in this conversation.
I spent
and
all
do
my
it this
time
way.
writing for you. I already know what I'm doing, so
Right.
you
So
read this stuff.
For him to hand that
Yeah.
off to another actor is
Yeah.
difficult for that other actor.
I asked you the question from the beginning
Oh, about Meryl Streep,
about Meryl Streep.
actor or
Is she an
movie
actor
star?
or is she a movie star?
She is a talentless hack who is just looking for the spotlight.
Tell me about it.
And she has been, she had like one good role way back with.
Has she even had one good role?
Sophie's Choice. She kind of lucked out, and people seem to like it. But standards were so much lower back then.
Yeah.
And
I'm not even sure if she made the right
yeah,
choice.
no, seriously, I don't think so. Anyway, no, folks, I'm totally kidding. Meryl Streep is
He is.
national, actually, you know what, an international
She's international.
treasure.
Yeah.
She is ridiculously talented.
Yeah.
She is so much fun to watch. She's really comes off as like the sweetest person ever.
Yeah,
you
she does.
never hear scandal for her. It's a job. Yeah, I'm gonna go make a movie and then go back to Connecticut or wherever under whatever name she uses there. Every time I see her, Julia Child, I worked at a movie theater a million years ago.
Did you?
And when the Julia Child movie, Julie and Julia, was out, there was a woman who came out of the theater. This was in the Boston area, and this woman had lived next door to Julia Child.
Yeah.
And she came out, older woman. I was just like, "What'd you think of the movie?" And she was crying. She's just like, "It was like seeing my friend up on the screen." She said it was such a wonderful portrayal
That's wonderful.
of my
good.
friend, and it was really the woman. It almost made me cry. She was just so happy with the performance, and that's such a dangerous thing when you're playing a real person.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
I would say she is actor, complete, like
Yes.
capital A
I agree.
actor. And but in contrast to that, like a movie, who would you say is a movie star, not an actor?
Oh, okay. Going the other way.
Yeah. And how do you define that?
Well, we
talked. We had a whole episode on Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is an actor in the sense that he has a
that's
SAG-AFTRA card.
that's his job.
That's his job.
Yeah, but that's not what we mean in this context.
He's good. He gets a point. We did a whole episode on him. Some fine roles, but for some reason in my mind, and it's not a knock against anybody, I think he's more of a movie star. Maybe not, like his name isn't tossed around as much now, but in his day, in his heyday, we'll say, I think he would have been more of a movie star than an actor. Yeah.
Yes.
And there are probably easier decisions to make for other people who are on the screen. And you could say, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger, well, he's a movie star.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would even say that, no, I'm an actor with a capital A. I think, no, he would know that he's a movie star.
Right. Here's one, though. Tom Cruise. Actor or movie star?
Wow. I first still think of him as an actor because earlier in his career, that's what he was doing. And then he kind of got into a lot of other
Yeah.
things that kind of propelled him into it. Almost like a
think
different
that-
persona.
I think that-
like this movie star persona.
I think that there are a few out there who are actors who have sort of become, movie
Yeah.
stars because they've become such celebrities that they're so big.
Yes.
Like Daniel Day-Lewis will never be a
He
movie
will
star.
never be a
He'll
movie
never
star.
be a movie star.
He's
but
actor all
but,
he's actor.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yeah.
he's I would call him movie star.
He's transcended. Yeah, he's kind of made this little shift.
He's movie star. I wouldn't call him actor yet. I mean, and I think that it's possible for someone to move
to go
to shift. And
switch
then there are
roles.
some people, their whole career, they're just movie stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
and
we could do
there
a whole
are
episode
people-
on that.
Yeah, you're right. There are people, and sometimes it's like it'll be one role, and then you never see them the same way again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll like move somebody into a different.
Yeah. All right.
category.
I've got one for you. All right. Robin Williams.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder why
you get to do right. You
picked
get 2
Robin
minutes
Williams.
of whether Robin Williams is an actor or a movie star.
My first answer.
First instant.
But the first thing I thought of was he's a movie star. That's my first thought.
Okay. I would say actor.
I understand why you would say actor, but I think you understand why I would say movie
Most
star.
definitely. Yes,
Yeah.
I see. That's super interesting. So
Yeah.
we could go on forever on that one, and maybe we'll do a special episode about that.
Yeah.
And we'll just get we'll have index cards with actors' names.
Oh,
on
like
it, just
little
we'll do like
flashcards.
a lightning
Boom, boom,
round,
boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I can see somebody, going from one category
one to the next.
another.
Yeah, most definitely. So
But perfect example when you said Daniel Day-Lewis.
oh
There's nothing he could ever do to make himself a movie star.
yeah.
That
yeah.
man is.
He is
actor.
he is an actor.
That's just the way it is.
Right.
And just the fact that he even seems to approach his whole life this way.
Yeah.
If the best script came across my lap and I get to look at it, and maybe every 3 years I'll do one movie, and I'm gonna just
That's how he
do
does it.
everything
Oh.
to make this thing come to life. That man's an actor, and the
Oh.
same with Meryl Streep. I
My
agree.
character is a cobbler. Well, now I must learn how to make shoes
Exactly. I'm gonna spend the next
the way they did
Yeah.
in the 13th century, because that's when the music takes place. The movie takes place.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's recap your 3 John Cusack. You
My
had
3.
1408 and Being John Malkovich. And
It wasn't 1408. I just threw that out there as
what is the
one
name
that
of-
I thought of.
so you had Being John Malkovich, and you had Bullets Over Broadway.
And we had a common movie.
We had Grosse Point Blank.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm sorry. I had Grosse Point Blank.
You had
and
Grosse
I
Point
Say
Blank. Say anything. Wait, and don't.
Oh, I'm
don't-
sorry.
You're
I
like-
almost forgot my third. Go ahead.
I want to be able to get out there
But I
and pay
love the
attention.
sound of my own voice.
I want to make sure that people know that I can stay awake when you talk. So these are your 3 picks. We did agree on our 3 list there. We agreed on Grosse Point Blank.
Mm-hmm.
You had High Fidelity and Say Anything.
Say anything. Very good. All right. So
See, I do pay
you
attention.
do pay attention. Like and subscribe, folks, so more people can pay attention. So, hey, give me the bucket. Let's see who's next.
Yes. All righty. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do
There we go. No, not that one. Put it back.
No.
Who we got?
Oh, this will be super fun. Yeah. No, that'll be good.
Well, let me
Good.
see. It'll be a tougher show if I don't even
Yeah.
ever know who we're talking about.
You have to come up
At
with
like
3 on
any
your own.
point.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, right?
Very good.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Yep.
So,
I'm
all
ready.
right.
Well,
So,
I'm
folks, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. I am Frank.
I'm Peter.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.